we shall sorrow no more. Not a sigh for the blessing of rest in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore. To our bountiful Father above, we will offer our tribute to praise for the glorious gift of His love and the blessings that follow our days in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore.
I think it's on. Yeah, it's on. Good morning. Let me turn my iPad back on real fast. Okay, so as most of you know, my sermon is warning signs. Has anyone ever given you a warning about someone or something? Yeah, I think so. I have about 1,000,000 times. Don't go here, don't date him, don't do this, don't do that. It's a lot. So this sermon is a little bit of my own testimony with other things involved. There has been so many times that I've missed God's warnings in my life. Time again, we ignore the warning signs. Chapter? Maybe. It's Psalms 81:8. So. Maybe.
You in the secret place of thunder. I tested you at the waters of Meribah. Selah.
Hear, O my people, while I admonish you. O Israel, if you would but listen to me.
If only we would listen to him. I also have another one that I'm reading on my own, which is Ezekiel 33:4-6, which says, "Then if those who hear the alarm and refuse to take action, it is their own fault if they die. They heard the alarm but ignored it, so the responsibility is theirs. If they had listened to the warning, they could have saved their lives. But if the watchman sees the enemy coming and doesn't sound the alarm to warn the people, he is responsible for their captivity. They will die in their sins, but I will hold the watchman responsible for their deaths." Honestly, I really wasn't sure where I wanted to take all of this, so I do have clay. So as most of you know, we started as clay. Nothing much, nothing special, until God decided to give us a heart. Now, with a heart, it can be broken several times. It can be crushed, dropped, beaten down, so many times. I mean, I personally have gotten to see my heart because I ended up in the hospital and they did so many tests. And they did an echo, which is an ultrasound of your heart. Our hearts are a little weird. They're weird. They're very weird. They have several little pieces that go to them. I thought my heart was broken. Literally thought it was broken because there was a piece that wasn't attached. Apparently it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. But sometimes we get a little bit of light in our life. Okay. It's just yellow. Light usually is yellow. Anyway. But hatred often comes into our life, but we take a heart, we mush it into the yellow. I don't have much time to do that right now. But then, black and a heart, we all know what happens when you mix two colors together. It ends up being a different color. And on again, it's a mess. Blue is tears, sadness, what we feel ever so often. There's a few things I was going through last year. I had long conversations with God, time and time again. Found myself on the path to healing finally. A few may know, but God gave me a gift a couple years ago, actually. And it's a gift that I can see angels and demons. One time at camp, 9th grade, it's my first time seeing demons. We were in the middle of praise and worship, and I'm either in the front, the very front, or I'm in the very back. It's never in between. Never. Maddie can testify to that. And we just so happen to found ourselves being in the back. And I look around. I can't stay focused on one sole thing. But I had looked to the corner, the back far corner, and I seen a demon sitting there. I'm like, oh, now what? Now what do we do? I couldn't tell you what we were singing. I really can't. I don't think either of those two remember either. And at that point, I'm worried now, because there's a demon. What do we do? I was never prepared for that. I never seen the warning signs to it being there. And right as soon as I started panicking, 2 angels walked over the demons, started escorting them out. And at that point, I'm like, okay, he's leaving. But wait, what if he wanted to listen? I mean, he could have been there to destroy us all, but, oh, that was odd. He was there watching. Someone to mess up, someone to sin. Usually things that they're after. Back when I was 6, my parents remind me constantly that I used to have tea parties with my grandfather, Pappy Mooney, often, and they'd walk into my room and be like, who are you talking to? I go, Pappy Mooney, of course. Also, they're shaking their head. But oftentimes in our life, we need a little growth. Because without growth, where would Jesus have been if he didn't pray, if he didn't read the Bible? Would he still have died on the very cross if he wasn't? Jesus could have up and left us at any point, and he chose not to. He could have turned away. He could have followed into sin. But he didn't want to. He didn't want to leave us because there was warnings that was coming. There's demons. Uh-oh. Who's gonna fight a demon that's on the street looking for a child who's sinning, for anything, really? Me and my father often have conversations in the car of, oh, there's an angel and demon battling. I wonder who they're fighting over. And you never know. You never know. White often resembles purity. In our faith, did our faith come with the warning label? Anybody know? Did it? Show of hands, yes. Did it come with the warning label? Or show of hands, no, it didn't. Or not. I think it did. Why? I'm losing my places. People die daily. Exactly 151,600 people die each day. 6,316 people die each hour. 105 people die each minute, solely based on the fact that they wouldn't deny Christ. To me, that's powerful. I mean, what do? You're in a foreign country, ministering to the people who need to hear it most. And the government doesn't like that. They come, they tell you to denounce God. What do? Do you denounce him? Or do you say, no, I knew the warnings. This is the cost. 1 in 4 children are bullied because of their faith in Christ. I was one of those children who was bullied because I chose Jesus. I chose him over being friends with the cool kids, being friends with anyone, really. I lost everyone at one point. Everyone in school hated me because I chose Christ. Because I chose him, and he chose me. I look at my bullies now and feel pity on them because now they have no one. Now I have friends who love me, who care, who just are there, you know? But they don't know what a real friend is. They chose to bully through elementary and middle school, and now I'm here getting my life back together, while they are slowly just turning away. Did you know that China, they're requiring workers to sign a no-faith commitment, or else they will be at risk of losing their job and livelihood. 70% of high school students lose their faith in college. Did you know approximately 11.7 million people leave Christianity annually? I didn't know that. I didn't know that till I looked it up. 11.7 million, though. A year. That's wild. Wild. But you know why? Because there's churches out there that choose money over a person's life, over getting them to the cross, back to heaven. Or did you know that students that are already in college, there's only 32% that still believe? They're truly believers. Another 32% are spiritual but not religious. What about the other 26%? Where are they? What are they doing? Why aren't we reaching them? I mean, we do have a community event coming up, the tent event, for what that's called. Anyway, continuing on. What about them? What are they doing? Do they believe? Do they not believe? Where's their warning sign that, hey, we're going to die soon? They don't know. They're going to end up somewhere, who knows where. It's not going to be heaven with their parents or their family members who believe. Here's your warning sign. Christianity has rapidly been declining for 30 years, which means that started in 1992. So it's not just my generation's fault. It's not the one before us, and it's not the ones after. Somewhere in the bloodline, something happened where they said, I don't believe anymore. Did you know by 2070, it said Islamic faith will take over? Then what? Then what? I mean, I don't know what I'd do. I mean, I try daily to try and get my friends to come to Christ, but I can't make that choice for them. Where has the fear in God gone, the healthy version? If God wasn't real, I know I wouldn't be standing here. I know I wouldn't be. I'd still be probably in the hospital. If prayer wasn't strong, where would we be left standing? Would we still be on that street side? Would we still be in that toxic relationship? Would we still be in that household? Who knows? I mean, I firmly believe in prayer. I mean, it's healed me. I've gone years without healing until I finally prayed, and I prayed hard. If being a Christian wasn't brave, then why fear God? I can't answer that. I mean, I fear God because, he gave us life. He gave us everything, basically, other than our parents gave us a household. We are losing people daily. If that's not a warning, I don't know what is. We all see these questions behind me. What are warning signs? What are warning signs? Anyone got an answer? You guys can talk back to me. There is scripture. Anything else? It can be anything. Anything can be a warning sign, even a stop sign. A warning label, yes. Peers, yeah. Peers can be a warning sign. How someone approaches you. I mean, we were just in New Orleans, and there's some sketchy people in New Orleans. There's sketchy people everywhere. But it's wild in New Orleans. Why do we have them? What's the point of warning labels? They do tell us about the hazard. Did you read this? They warn us of danger, warn us of choking hazards, obstacles, or conditions requiring special attention. I mean, how many of us have read the labels on like Tide Pods? Do not eat, hazardous, poisonous. Call poison control if in contact with Tide Pod, if swallowed. Keep out of children's hands under a certain age. I mean, they're there. Are they good or bad? They are both. I mean, you don't want to eat a Tide Pod. I don't think any of us here ever would. Are they bad? Can a warning label be bad? It can be. They can be bad. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been in friendships where they warned me not to be with this friend. They end up turning out to be really cool. Sometimes. How does God tell us about signs? Does anybody know?
He uses other people.
He does use other people. I think you've read this too.
By giving us warnings.
How? Anyway.
This is his word.
He does. I'm starting to think y'all read this. Well, here's the answers. Answer 1, a warning sign is a type of sign which indicates a potential hazard, obstacle, or condition requiring attention. 2, drawing attention to health and safety issues when others are absent. 3, warning signs are more likely to be ineffective if the cost is high. So, like a stop sign, I know I may have gone through at least one so far. I didn't see it. There's no one else coming. Bad time to bring that up. Anyway, continuing on. Anyway. But yeah, warning, stop signs. They're interesting. You see a person run through a stop sign at least once in a day. Maybe me. What? 4, sign God is speaking to you, his word, his audibility, other people, visions and dreams, an inner knowing, and clear or blocked paths. I know there was one point I had a vision of 3 doors. One was white, one was black, and one was yellow. I couldn't see behind the doors. And knowing me, I chose the black one. Ended up going through years of pain, trials, all of it. But I trusted God that I'd end up here. I mean, white's too easy. It's white. There's nothing special about the color white. Nothing special about yellow. It's yellow. It's bright. That time I didn't like bright colors, so I didn't want either. So I chose black. Black was my favorite color at the time, not satanic. I mean, there's a school out. I mean, we've taken God out of schools, but now they're letting Satan in schools. I know that because there's a school in Pennsylvania that has a satanic temple on school property. That it has a club in school that's for satanic kids. What do we do now? School boards, interesting places to be. Anyway, parents are complaining because Satan has entered the school. Isn't that ironic? I think it is. We took God out. What else do you expect? There's demons everywhere. I mean, I can tell you that. Camp. I love going to camp. You enter camp and it's just like you've entered somewhere magical. Every time I feel it. Every time I go up that driveway, you feel it. Camp is also where I spend most of my summers too. And there are a lot of where I see my angels and I see my demons. Usually I only see one demon. And then another 10 angels to go with it. I was at a Pulse retreat by our friend Dave Williams. And when I was there, we were in the middle of prayer, and I just had an outer body experience where I seen everyone's guardian angels. We all have one. Man, I mean, I know who mine is. I have a couple, actually. I've had a talk with one. His name's Alex. He's pretty cool. He gives me warning signs all the time about how I shouldn't do this or that, but, well, I still don't, because I'm human, and I may or may not like danger. What's so special about warning signs? Anybody know? I mean, I've read you off of why we have them. It is safety. Why does God care so much? Anybody know? I mean, he created the universe. Why does he care about some person like me who's falling in sin? He created us, that's why. I mean, we were all this one point. There's nothing special about some clay that I can mold, shape into what I think I want it to be. At first, this wasn't supposed to be a cross. This was supposed to be something else. It ended up being a cross. It ended up being part of the sermon. I bought this clay probably maybe 5 weeks ago. I didn't plan on using it for my sermon, but I seen it lying around. It had a warning label on it. Do not eat. Call poison patrol, because it's clay. I mean, who would eat it? Simple things as human life, but yeah, Joey probably would. I mean, high school. I watch it daily where someone's being bullied. What'd that person do to make that person upset? I don't know. I mean, I wish I could tell you why one person hates me from second grade. I wish I could tell you that. They still hate me. Where was that warning sign? I didn't get that one. We're never warned before something bad happens. Where was the warning label when September rolls around? There's no warning. Other than, oh, it's August 29th, it's August 30th. There's your warning. It's not my warning. I wish it was. Honestly, I know there was a time where I was hanging around with this one guy. He was not good for me at all, not in one bit. He asked me out 3 times and I said no, each time he'd try something new. Be like, oh, you want to go see this movie with me? No, I really don't. Because I knew in my heart that something was wrong. Then I ended up finding out that each time he dated someone new, he raped them. So there was something there that warned me, saying, hey, no, that ain't right. That's not the way to go. Third time I denied him, he tried to throw me down a flight of stairs. So there was that. I ended up trying to take it to the school and nothing was done. So I moved on. I lived my life the way I could, getting over it. Never got over it till at least a month ago. At least I thought I did. Instagram, we all know. Social media is great, isn't it? Bullying, government causing problems. Unless you put God into your social media. I know my Instagram's full of it, full of God. And then occasionally you slide past the person being bullied and you're just like, what now? What do you do for them? I had 2 Sundays ago, I had a friend call me, and out of nowhere she called me. She told me everything. There was no warning to what she was going to tell me. She ended up telling me that if I didn't pick up the phone, that if I was busy or didn't answer, that she probably would have taken her life. But she couldn't do that knowing me and Joey would have been left devastated. School was starting. She's such a lovely person. She is, but she's going through trials in life where there was no warning signs. We've all missed a warning sign time and time again. Too many to count. But God's been there. I know God's been there each step. Because if God wasn't there, where would we be right now? Does anybody know where you could have been? I know I could have been dead, beaten, raped. I could be anywhere at this point. I know there was a couple times when I was younger that we were at a beach and I was supposed to go down to, I forget who it was. Down the water and straight back. Well, little me took a detour and ended up going to the right down the beach, not straight down the beach. That way. That did not happen. I ended up going and going as far as, a far walk. And, I don't even know, how old was I at that point? Little. I'll give it like 4. Anybody could have picked me up at that point. Anybody. I could be gone. I could be in Europe. I could be here. Maybe. But it ended up being one of my aunt's friends. It was my aunt's friend. Who did get me? Oh, my aunt. That I don't talk to anymore. But life throws a lot at us. I mean, I don't talk to one side of my family because life threw trials. I mean, it's family, but family doesn't mean blood. Family means people who are there. People who will tell you if they see a warning sign. I don't know where I'd be without some of my friends today. They've been to hell and back for me, as they sometimes say, as I'll say to them too. But I'd go to hell and back again for any of my friends to stop them from doing something. Warning signs come with labels. Chris, do you come with a label? Jay, when you married Chris, was there any warning signs someone told you about? Did someone tell you to stay away from her, that she's bad news?
No, if there was, I just didn't pay attention to it. Just a glutton for punishment.
How about you, Dad? Was there any warning labels when it came to Mom? Was there anything people told you, she's bad news, stay away, she's toxic, don't go near her? Ash, when you came into our family, was there any warning label someone said other than, hey, these people are crazy? Okay, that works, that they're a different color. That works. That is a warning label, as some people would put it. Don, when you married Corey, was there any warning labels?
No, some of our family wasn't very happy just because they thought we were too young and it wouldn't last.
And
We've been married 31 years.
and it has lasted. Yeah, and I'm part of that family now, actually. Maddie, was there any warning labels when you became friends with me?
No.
I don't think there was. There should have been. It has been years. And you've stuck around, even when I don't pick up phone calls or text messages. You see me post on Facebook. It's okay. Bobby, was there any warning labels when Dad became your pastor?
One of the most hardest thing to do in life is when you try
Oh, yeah.
difficult. Trying to be a Christian and do things right is very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, I agree with that. Dad warned me going into high school that he's like, you know, you're pastor's daughter, so anything you can and try to do will be put under a microscope. And so far it has been. Anything I do, like, I'm in JRTC. I love the group all, but, you know, sometimes we all lose our temper a little and we say things we don't mean. Well, now I'm paying the punishment for that by not getting a position I wanted. But I have band, so it's okay. Evan, was there any warning signs when you graduated high school? What were they? No. I often get those. Oh, you want to go in the army? Well, there's this, this, and this you have to do. I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want to go army. Maybe I want to go Coast Guard. Well, now you're suffering with the water. What if there's a storm? I'm like, it happens. Life happens. I don't need that anymore. Reflect on the questions. I mean, if you see a warning sign, why do you have the warning sign? Uh-oh, check engine light comes on. There's your warning sign. Something could be wrong. Look for the little things in life. The little things matter. I've learned that. Whether it be a sunset, a cloud, anything. I mean, a cloud could be your warning sign. Hey, there's going to be a storm. And it could be one single cloud. And then 10 minutes later, there's a storm. Because Pennsylvania weather be like that. I leave you with, remember, God is there, even if there is a flashing light at you. Whether it's a red light you've been stuck at for months. Whether it's a green light on your path saying, you can go here, you can go there. Whether it be a yellow light, the warning light, as many people say. I'm oftentimes driving with Joey, and Joey's like, it's a yellow light. You're at the line. You can keep going. And I'm like, no, I'm stopping right now. Time and time again, that has happened, a little few. Remember the warning signs. Our closing song is, like I said, Savior like a shepherd leads us. Oh, there we go.
I fail.